But what's the backstory? Take a look at listen to some rap that was done in 2017. Listen.
Now we have What Do You Think still in the Remembrance Day.
On 28 February 1948, right here, the Crossroads shooting occurred, and Sergeant Ajete, Corporal Atipo, and Private Odate Lamte lost their lives when they, together with some veterans, were marching to the Christianborg Castle to present a petition to the colonial governor in demand for their war benefit, which was due them. But 69 years on, we ask, has this fight been worth the while, looking at the well-being of veterans and even people who are in active service in the country? What do you think?
Previously, it was not good, but during the Fourth Republic, the president, Gigi Rollins, they have increased all of us some amount, but it is not enough. If they can add more to it.
Our life today, we can say it's okay. They can do more for us, and not you alone. The active service too. They should look after them, because from there they will come and join us. So, charity begins at home. So if they are able to look well, you know that we too can look very nice.
I'm happy that the veterans, but I'm not happy about the country itself, because they don't like to read the veterans. The accident will happen. We don't regard the accident. Even the date come, I remember something. Tears used to come, but we use ourselves for some things, but no things to talk about.
Honestly speaking, they are not taking good care of the veterans. Even some of us take 800 Ghana cedis a month, 600 Ghana cedis a month. They don't take good care of us.
They don't recognize us much. Why am I saying that? At times, they delay in giving us our allowance. Though they give us okay, but at times they delay. Compared to other countries, like our colonial masters, Britons, they honor their veterans more than Ghana. So maybe if today program can change our leaders their mind, also to be taking good care of us, I think some of us will be very happy.
3FM Sunrise.
Mishia, Abananka Badamensa. If you're cheating, police, the mechire. If you be some day, Munianum, Nefia, Edwin, if you in chat, Abananka Badamensa. Come on, come on, Samanam. I want come on, Muslim, Kanchana, Banaka, Bandamensa. If ye are not Jehan Kopandamensa, I want come on, Muslim, Kanchana, Banaka, Bandamensa. If ye are not Jehan Kopandamensa.
And today in history, the 28th of February 1948, the veterans of World War II who had fought with the Gold Coast Regiment of the Royal West African Frontier Force organized a peaceful demonstration marching to Christianborg Castle, Accra, Gold Coast in Ghana, now Ghana, to hand in a petition to the colonial governor demanding that they receive end of war benefits and pay which they had been promised. Before reaching the castle, the veterans were ordered to disperse by the colonial police chief. When they refused, he opened fire on them, instantly killing 3: Sergeant Ajete, Corporal Atipo, and Private Odate Lamte. Angered by this unwarranted violence, against unarmed men and continued injustice suffered by the population in general, people in Accra and other towns and cities took to the streets, attacking European and Asian businesses and property. Immediately after the outbreak of these violent disturbances, the leadership of the UGCC, the United Gold Coast Convention, a political organization advocating an end to colonialism, sent a cable to the Secretary of State for the colonies in London expressing their belief that, 1, unless the colonial government is changed and the new government of the people and chiefs installed at the center immediately, the conduct of masses now completely out of control, with strikes threatened in police quarters and rank and the file of the police indifferent to orders of officers, will continue and result in worse, violent and irresponsible acts by uncontrolled people. This will be a wrap of what happened. Later, there were arrests and stuff that were happened, but on this day we remember, and Albert the poet is in the studio, but we also have Parables Studio, Animation Africa. They have put together this wonderful animation, Albert Tete. We'll get to relish in it and enjoy it, and also have a pure reflection on the activities of the yesteryears in a bit.
Nefie edwinde efie ya nche abanka bada mensa kama menka oda samina me kama menka oda samina awan kama mesuma kanche abanka bada mensa ifie ya nche hankopunda mensa awan kama mesuma kanche abanka banda mensa ifie ya nche hankopunda.
Look at me, a hole in me. Sergeant Ajeti, distinguished war veteran from the Royal West African Regiment, eating one dry kinky and tilapia head for breakfast. Only until this moment, I had not realized that someone could actually break your heart twice at the same fault lines. Fellow veterans, we are gathered here for a purpose. As we all know, they refused to answer our last petition.
Private, I order you to fly into the crowd.
What's up, Hassan? I've detected unusual flooding near the Gulf Police Station around 7.
Try this mic. Send
I hear, bro. Right on it. Sell your votes to any political party undercover. Look at me, a hole in me. Sergeant Ajeti, distinguished war veteran from the Royal West African Regiment, eating one dry kinky and tilapia head for breakfast. Only until this moment, I had not realized that someone could actually break your heart twice at the same fault lines. Fellow veterans, we are gathered here for a purpose. As we all know, they refused to answer our last petition.
Private, I order you to fire into the crowd.
And so it was that the people's protest lasted 5 days. And by March 1, the colonial governor had declared a state of emergency and put in place a new Riot Act. On 12th of March, the governor ordered the arrest of the Big Six: J.B. Dankwa, Oforiatta, Akufo-Addo, Akweje, Kwame Nkrumah, Obechebe Lamte, the leading members of the UGCC, as he believed they were responsible for castrating the disturbances. The Big Six were incarcerated in remote northern parts of the country. It was around this time that Nkrumah and other five began to have significant disagreements over the direction of the movement for independence. By 1949, Nkrumah had broken away from the UGCC to form the Convention People's Party, taking the masses of the people with him. The CPP, through a campaign of positive action, achieved an end to the Gold Coast colony and brought the new dawn of independent Ghana on the 6th of March 1957. The routes of the 28 February Road, as you may know, and for those who are not aware, the uninitiated, is right in front of the Independence Square, just a few meters away from the Christiansborg Castle, which used to be the house of the leadership of the country in colonial times and even post-colonial times. Albert Tete is in the studio. Albert, good morning. How are you doing?
Good morning.
What inspired this animation?
So Parables Animation Studio, we've been in existence close to 2 decades now. And basically, we started telling stories of Kwekwa Nancy because we wanted to retell this story, repackage them, represent them to the youth. So people out there, both people in Ghana or in Africa and in diaspora, they can appreciate our culture, they can appreciate our stories and the narratives that have been twisted over time. So doing this very particular thing with Anansi's stories live on stage and with animation, we thought it wise also to retell our own history, because people come in and try to take our stories and tell it the way they want to tell it. Why not tell our own African stories from an African perspective? It doesn't even have to be in a perfect way of telling it using animation. So as we've learned on this job over time with respect to the commercials we've done, the Anansi stories we've produced over time, we thought it wise that no, it's time to come out and do our own stories. And moreover, we're looking for more investors in this system. When it comes to animation, people see it very far away from us. It has to be something from the West. People who are Africans or Ghanaians cannot be producing animation and of this very quality. So we said no. If we're doing commercials for maybe 30 seconds, 60 seconds, 1 minute, 3 minutes, these things cannot bring in investors because investors want a return on whatever they are putting in.
That's right.
So it has to be a feature-length film, something that will be in the industry. So in building the industry, Parables Animation Studio, it was in 2009 that the first make of this 28th Crossroad was done. But the feel to it wasn't there. So 2 years ago, we thought it wise calling on Animation Africa and Viction X. That's let's do this. Let's go out there and make sure we have something big out there, and people who are investors or who want to put something in the creative art industry will have some motivation, will have something inspiring to talk about. And that's how Come 28 The Crossroads was birthed, being Ghana's first ever animated feature film. So it's basically we want to tell our own stories using both the traditional and advanced form of communication, and one of it is animation. And that's how come we want to just put the stories out there. People have heard it, they've read it, and now they can see it. It has come to life. We did a screening with the Veterans Association of Ghana last year, and
Veterans Administration of Ghana.
Veterans
It's no longer
Administration.
association.
Veterans Administration of Ghana, and they also endorsed this very initiative. And the veterans there actually also heard the story. They were not there because it's only we have two of them alive.
Hammond and one other, W1 Hammond,
So getting to see this, they called us and they were like, some were shedding tears and all, and they were like, we just heard these things, what our predecessors did and all that. We can now see it, and it gives us some sort of motivation. When they also meet the current people in the service, they can inspire them and let them know that they fought for something way back. They have to stand for something now. And that's how come these things motivate us, even irrespective of the fact that there might not be some sort of motivation monetarily or not. We are doing our best to tell our stories.
So the Veterans Administration of Ghana have adopted this?
Yeah, so that's the flyer that even came, you can see the seal on it. So they told us that everywhere we screen, we must make sure that we make that known to people because they've appreciated the work that's been done so far.
Albert, I want to thank you very much. I want to leave your details with that. So if there are some interested parties who would be willing to collaborate with you, I'm sure they want to do, quickly share that with me so we can go.
All right, so you can reach us parables.jones@gmail.com when you want to contact Parables Animation Studio, or 026 506 8758 026 506 8758. You can get in touch. We open. We want to do more. We want to tell more of our stories. And
Albert Tete, Parables Animation Studio, thank you very much indeed for your time this morning. We're grateful that you could join us here. And let me take you back, a bit of a throwback to the commemoration of the 28th February Crossroads shooting. Listen.